Welcome, everybody. Welcome to our new GSG Talk. We are here in a slightly different setup that we usually do. I'm sorry for that. You'll see my big head this time because I'm having some issues with my microphone. So I'm speaking to the computer's microphone. And if you hear me yelling, it's because I want to be heard. So I'm not upset or anything. I'm joined today by two very well-known shrimps. I have with me noxmoderato, whose face you probably won't know. This is probably the first time you see his face. And Mr. Effin Izzy. Yeah, that's what we do here. We show the faces. That's good or bad, depending on the person. How are you guys?
Doing just good.
Yeah, doing well. Happy to be here.
Okay.
Feeling a little self-conscious because I'm not red.
We can work that out. I can ask you very annoying questions till you get red in the face.
Go for it.
Who did you vote for? No.
Oh.
That's okay.
Gosh. Yeah, bye.
Ralph Nader.
Yeah.
You too?
Yeah.
Probably the most common way to start this is with your names, guys. So maybe you want to talk about your names, how you came up with that. Let's do this. Every time I ask a question, let's start by Nox, and then let's move to Effin.
Sounds good. Yeah, my name is Nox, or noxmoderato. Wambra has dubbed me Mr. Ferratu, so I go by Nox Ferratu as well. And yeah, just Noxmo, I think is what your opponent calls me, and Acti calls me Noxmod. So as long as Nox is in it, I'm all right with it. So that's who I am.
He's Noxy to me.
Noxy, yep, Noxy to
Noxy.
Izzy.
It's not like Moxie, it's Noxy.
Noxy.
Yes, I'm Effin Izzy, and that's not my real name, of course. My real name is István, which is Stephen in Hungarian. And I came about this name because very shortly I was late teens, early 20s, trying to get to a job, and I was late. They gave me wrong directions, and they couldn't say my name, so they kept saying, "Where is he? Where's that Effin Izzy?" And that stuck forever, and that became my punk persona at that time. I was more punk. Yeah. There you go.
And what's the story behind the Nox part of your name, noxmoderato? I also don't know what moderato means.
So Nox and moderato, two separate words. Nox in Latin, I think, meaning night or dark, and moderato in Latin also meaning at a moderate pace. I usually play any sort of rhythms in between, a moderato pace, somewhere around 74 to like maybe low 90s. So yeah, put the two together. So dark, moderate pace is what it translates to.
I also say molto moderato, molto moderato.
But yeah, that's it.
We're getting some hits from the chat. They're saying there's not enough forest in your scene.
No.
I mean, I can change that, but I would disappear, and I think folks want to maybe learn more about me.
Yeah, we want to see here. They can go see your streams if they want to see more forests.
Absolutely. No, Bats Pajamas was kind enough to let me into their space to come indoors.
For anyone in the chat that doesn't know what you do, can you explain what you usually do on streams?
Yeah, absolutely. I pretty much I started playing dark ambient music, mostly just like haunting pads, like guitar riffs here and there that would just have infinite reverb. But in joining the Shrimp and learning more about these different styles of music and stuff, it's opened me up to play with rhythms more, kind of like Toto has been doing in their ambient sets. And just kind of playing with the textures of rhythms and adding that. So now I'm kind of dabbling in really kind of taking a deep dive into IDM and kind of exploring that and mixing that with this kind of dark, kind of, slasher film type score, and seeing what becomes of it. Those things just move me, those sounds, those textures. So embracing those influences, and every stream is, I'm not lying, literally improvised. Within 10 minutes, I know what I'm doing before I press live. I don't have any patches going. I just know like, hey, this is how I'm feeling, and I go with that. And I share my, it's cliche to say, but my emotions via music. So
Nice.
That sounds nice. Your streams aren't that easy to explain, Effin Izzy, right?
Well, there's different aspects to it, I suppose. Is my mic level better, Manina? Thank you for letting me know. I suppose there's the performance side of things where I perform pieces that some of them are kind of pre-planned, but still not formed completely. And there is the purely improvised aspect where I'm playing with drum machines and playing with the synths and just going with the flow. I'll be playing maybe the Fender Rhodes and improvise on that. I'll play on the piano in the back there and maybe improvise. Sometimes I roll a dice, this 12-sided dice thing, and improvise based on that. Then there's the random record stream, which I did last night, which was a lot of fun. And I don't know, it's you can hear me better? Good. It's kind of a mixed bag, I suppose. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, for sure. And you guys know each other in real life? Is that so?
We've never met.
Oh, I
never
thought
met in real life, yeah.
You're internet buddies.
We're buddies.
Okay, you're buddies.
We're buddies.
Yeah. This is the first time, by the way, that I'm actually seeing Noxie's smiling face, and it's just it's just wonderful. It's wonderful.
Unveiled Nox.
Unveiled. It's beautiful. So I'm really
you.
glad to see that. Yeah.
Where in the world are you, if you want to share that with us?
I am in Seattle, Washington. Been up here for quite a bit, and the weather agrees with me. It's sunny right now, so I am very shaded with blackout curtains beside me. I despise the sun, so Seattle's a great place for me.
Wow. Sunny in Seattle. That's amazing. I am in just north of New Haven, Connecticut, in the place called Hamden, which is the den of pigs. It's a very old town on the East Coast. And, statistically, it's in one of the safest places in the world.
Nice.
So it's really boring. It's boring. Hamden is excruciatingly boring.
Well, you can always join a gang and create the first gang in that very safe place.
The geriatric old person. Let's go mow someone's lawn without their permission.
Sounds exciting.
Yeah, there you go. That's what we do.
Can you tell people about your gear? About the way you have your gears set up for your streams? I know this is a very long question to ask, so...
Go for it.
I mean, I have most of what I have behind me. It's all in a DJ controller case with kind of the sliding upper level. Everything's Velcroed down because I work in this same room that we're in, my Monday through Friday 9-to-5 job. So I have to break this down or hide it because it's in the way. So it's a very multi-purpose room. But that said, everything is Velcroed down. I have flat-ish stuff on the top. When I do have to put a lid on it, I have to pull all my patch cables. So every patch you hear is fresh each stream. So there's no redoing really anything. I also have a pedal board on the floor that has my looper and my kind of always on, and I don't need to touch a knob kind of things. For my guitars, I've got a couple of the guitars over my shoulder here. Yeah, this way. Matching Dan Electro guitars. And they're sparkly turquoise, so you kind of can't see that. In the closet behind those is Bat's Pajamas Theremin, along with our cello, another guitar, cords, cables, all that stuff. But primarily, the rig behind me is what I use pedals below. I've got my 8-channel interface / mixer Velcroed down, synths on top of that, power supply tucked back. Everything is cable managed back there. And again, I can slide that shelf forward, throw the lid on, close it up, and store it away when I'm not using it. But yeah, it's a mixture of maybe 90% used gear, second hand, third hand, fourth hand, fifth hand. Some of it is beat to hell, but like it still functions. I'm very much a budget musician. I think the only thing new on my pedal board, honestly, is the hologram microcosm in black, because I had to have a limited edition silly pedal, but it's amazing. It's great. Anyone who has one, run percussion through it. It will change your life. I'm talking to you, Toto. Do it.
Great. Thanks for gassing us. That's all I need is more gas.
I could go further at talking through this, but I think we'll leave it at that.
People on the chat want to know if you had a beard.
If I had a beard, no.
Yeah.
I've never had a beard. Right now, I've got a 5 o'clock shadow, but no beard. No. This is me. This is how I am live every time I go. But I usually have this hood on, along with a forest that I am behind and immersed in. So
it's just naked Noxy.
Naked Noxy. I'm wearing pants too, so I can stand up. So.
Well, we have 14 minutes yet. Things can change. How about you, Effin Izzy? How's your room arranged for streams?
This is here. I'll put you on another camera. Let's see if I get the right camera here. There we go. This is the room called the Dungeon, and this is my happy place. And you can see here that I've got this beautiful Matrix Brute by Arturia, which is just, I just love this thing. And this I bought used and got a really good deal for it on Reverb. This is an Electrocomp EML 200, which was being thrown out. I kid you not. It was going to be in a dumpster. And I saved it. I brought it home, plugged it in, and it worked. So, you know, I'm not going to, whatever. That was free. And then up there, that weird looking thing is actually the controller companion to the EML 200 called the EML 300. And it's not really working very well right now. I have to take it apart and see what's going on. But that's really kind of rare. And I got that in trade for an amp head that I had, a Fender Dual Showman that I wasn't using. They wanted it, and so I decided, okay, let's trade, and it worked out. Over here is a, sorry, I don't want to make everyone sick. This is a, let's see, that is an Acetone Rhythm Ace FR3 drum machine from way, way back. And I think that's like 1969 or 1970. That was also on a curb being thrown out. And my nephew found it, brought it home, and plugged it in. It worked, and then he didn't use it because he had some other drum machine stuff, so he decided to just give it to me. Over here, we have a Roland V-Synth, which I deeply love, and I still use it a lot and program with it. Over there, we have a Chord Chaos DJ mixer, which I use. The synths go into that. That little keyboard over there controls the drum computer, which is a software drum machine, which I love. And of course, over there, you can see the Erica LXR02, which I deeply love, but it is a pain in the ass, as anyone will attest. Over there, you can't even see it, but there's a piano underneath all that crud. It's a Steinway. It's not mine. It's on loan for 3 to 5 years. Back there, you can see I have some monitors and bookshelf stuff. Let's see. Let's move around here. I'll do it slowly so that you don't get sick. This is my workstation. You can see kind of how I have the gear laid out here. It's a mess right now, but we have these APC40 controllers, which control live, and the clips. And then I have here the DFAM, which I deeply love. And then up there, We have some monitors, which I deeply love. Those are Amphion's. And if we go this way, there's a rack of gear, which a lot of it I don't use anymore. There's some sound modules and stuff in there, but it's mainly kind of MIDI stuff, mixer. Here's the main mixer that I use, which is a SL32 Presonus. There's the Fender Rhodes over there. And it's a lot, and that's probably because I'm old. Here, sorry, I won't do that anymore. But the truth is, just like what Nox was saying, honestly, I don't have money. I'm a teacher, so you know what teachers get paid, right? Which is crap. And so a lot of this stuff that I have is either loaned to me, given to me, or I buy used. Like these APCs, I bought both of them used, pretty cheap. The Roland V-Synth I bought used, pretty cheap. The only things that I paid for new were the Amphion monitors, and those were expensive. Oh my God. But you know what? If you ever want to get into really good monitors, those things are amazing. That's all I can say. Yeah, APC4. Yeah, right. You can get, Lady Helena, you can get these APC40s. These are the old ones, the metal ones, which are built like tanks. And you can get these for like 30 to 50 bucks on eBay or Reverb, I bet you. It's crazy. So anyway, okay. Any other questions?
No, I was just enjoying the tour. Thanks, Yopo, for that. I was just trying to understand what the Russian chatter was saying. I didn't get the time to translate whatever was happening there in the chat. So thank you, moderators, for that. We're not doing this all by ourselves. What I wanted to ask you is, do you intentionally add something to your gear, or do you just like get something and see how to add it to your studio? How do you plan that, or do you do both? Well, what's your approach to that?
I don't know. There's always kind of this specific sound that I want to kind of explore. So a lot of it's just trial and error, especially if there is a type of sound or a pedal or something. Mostly it's pedals that I kind of buy and like, I don't like this one here. And then I kind of trade it out and get another one, which seems to be kind of a monthly thing. So it's kind of this like, it honestly is this just rolling budget. I'm never spending any more than I have. It's like there's this pool that I just keep rotating through. So like currently I have, I think, 5 items on Reverb that I'm selling or locally trying to sell. And with that, I've, grabbed one pedal recently to try out. And yeah, a lot of it's trial and error. A lot of it is kind of slimming down as of late to try and, I don't know, target more of the sounds that I think make my setup a little unique and stuff that inspires me. I think that's the bottom line, is I want to be inspired to play the instrument, not just press a button and have it do a thing. That was my struggle with the Erica, the LXR2, because I really enjoyed what that could produce, but I was struggling to play it, if you will, to really enjoy it and find inspiration with it. So I got rid of that, and I am eagerly awaiting my what I've been calling my budget DFAM. I will say it, the Behringer Edge is hopefully on its way soon. I have no shame in purchasing Behringer gear. I am a budget musician, so I am very happy to have that come, and it will live right here currently where my Volca modular is. So sweet. I've got a space carved out for it, and I cannot wait to get it. The demos are super inspiring, and I'm sure I'll have just sets where I'm playing just that. But I think, yeah, to answer the question, the piece of gear needs to inspire me, and it has to be playable. I don't want to just press a button and have it do its thing, because that's boring to me.
Mm.
Yeah.
So we won't see you in some generative music streams for now.
So,
What's that?
We won't see you making generative music because you need to play it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's like, I'll have a drone going, and that's pretty common just to have some sort of thing because I'm a solo instrumentalist. So to have some sort of depth, something driving the mood and then layering on top of that. But drones are cheap. Drones are easy. You just let it go and let it drone.
I love drones.
Oh yeah, this is my newest drone here, the Ranger FX drone delay. You can yeah, I'll be playing with that on Modular Monday tomorrow. So
It says
9 p.m.
drone in the name. It says drone.
Yeah, yeah, it's a guitar pedal that drones and delays. So I am very excited to share that one.
Yeah. Geez, you know, I mean, for me, I guess the history behind what gear I have, I mean, it's a mixed bag between stuff that finds me, that people give me, or say, hey, you want this? I don't need it. Like those guitars in the back, right? You can see they're coming out of my head. See that right now, you can see they're both ears. I should keep my head like this. Yeah, the guitars, the bass guitar and all that, those were, you know, people I knew who had them and didn't use them, and it was in their Izzy Shrek. They had them in their attic or something, and they just said, yeah, you know, I don't use it, you use it. I'm like, okay, you know. And so each instrument definitely shapes the way that I approach things. Like the V-synth, the Roland V-synth, I sought that out because I'd been playing a lot of keyboards, and I was always dissatisfied with the very kind of closed system synthy quality of some of these digital synthesizers. It really bothered me, you know. And yeah, Bard needs to say, shall we do it? Here, you can take a screenshot, you know. Here, there you go. Bardy, this is for you, Bardy. Yes. Izzy merch. Yeah. And so yeah, it's something that, you know, like the V-synth, I basically erased everything that was on it when I got it, and it just started from absolute zero and made my own sounds. I sang into a microphone, recorded it on the V-synth, and used that as the bass sound, you know, and did all sorts of stuff where I'd record sounds, put it into the V-synth, it would process it, and I would make sounds with it. It's brilliant. That instrument is so brilliant, and I'm so pissed at Roland. You hear that, Roland, you jerks, that they discontinued the V-synth. They made it into the GT, and then the XT, and they discontinued it. And it's one of the best products they ever made as far as keyboards I'm concerned. Yeah, and then there's stuff like the Erica LXR where, you know, it kind of forced me to work a certain way, right? And I am kind of stubborn that way. I kind of Manina got a snapshot, great. I'm stubborn that way because I'm like, I'm gonna make this work. I'm gonna make this damn thing work. And it took me several months to program it and get it right. And then the little SD card crashed on me and it got corrupted. So I lost like 6 months worth of work.
Oh no.
Yeah. And then I did it again, and guess what? I lost it again. Oh, well, so I decided, you know what? I'm just going to work with it the way it is and program it and lose stuff, program it and lose stuff. It's always going to be fresh and different. And in a way, I never know what to expect. So that makes me happy, you know. The Matrix Brute and these things, you know, they definitely color the way that I do stuff. The sequencer on the Matrix Brute is so much fun to play with, especially live, you know, because I'll have maybe nothing on there and I'll play in a sequence, it'll record it and perform it, and then I can alter notes during the sequence in real time, which is just so cool, you know. And it really changes the way that it sounds, and it comes out of a minimalist approach. And I'm talking about a classical form of minimalism from the 60s where you start with something repeating, and then you change one thing at a time. Okay, I'm going to shut up now.
That's okay. That's what we're here for. Do you guys have any piece of gear? I think Effin Izzy kind of answered this question, but I'll make it anyway. Do you have any piece of gear that is your favorite, or your historical favorites, or the one that you cannot live without?
I do. I'm going to bring it close because nobody can really see it when I'm playing. but it's my modified 90s. It's a turquoise glitter Dan Electro. It is called Sparkle Motion. If you get the reference, Sparkle Motion from Danny Darko. And
Yes.
its big brother is my baritone. It was made in the same year, same factory in Korea for Dan Electro, same turquoise. It is the baritone guitar, and that is called Notorious, which is the song that Sparkle Motion danced to in Donnie Darko. So, but this is probably my favorite piece of gear. It's a Masonite guitar on a poplar body here and a maple neck that is just warped and dinged up. I kind of have to fight to play this, but that's what I love about it. Nice. I put some hot rail pickups in it. There are coil tapping switches here. So this is it is my favorite guitar. It is the funnest guitar to play. It's short scale, good action on it. So yeah, that's my favorite piece of gear by far. And I made the pick guard black. So I got some thin acrylic and just cut it by hand and ground it down and all that.
Bats Pajama in chat is asking for you to share its history with us. I don't know if there's something more to it.
Oh, yes. So yeah, I bought that, gosh, it probably about 12 years ago. No, it's right-handed. My camera might be shifted. Yeah, I think it is shifted. But yeah, it is a right-handed guitar. The history of it, I bought it about 12 years ago, and it was once played by a musician called Ken Stringfellow of the Posies, their guitarist and singer, Pacific Northwest band. But Ken Stringfellow recorded and toured the world with REM a long time ago. Oh my God, I'm upside
There we go.
down.
No, there we go. Much better.
You're touring the world.
I am upside down.
Nice.
Yep, this is my world is upside down. But yeah, it has some history. It has toured. It's been bled on, I'm sure. Who knows? But I've kind of renewed it to what I like. So that's kind of where we're at. That's the history there. I flipped it, so now, yeah, that reads correctly, I think now. Cool.
Yep.
Yes, perfect. Okay, how about you, Effin? Do you have any piece of gear that is your favorite, and something that you cannot live without?
Oh my God. Well, live without.
I'm guessing it's a piano.
Yeah, the piano for sure. I mean, that's a 1917 Steinway 6-footer that I'm basically caretaking for some family who can't deal with it right now for 3 to 5 years. And it was rebuilt and all that stuff, and it has a nice sound. It's just, its action is like the worst potholed roads you'd ever tried to drive on. It's the most uneven piano in the world, but it's good because it challenges me to try and play it to make it sound good, so the challenge is it teaches me to really learn how to control something. That's definitely a piano for sure. I have to have an instrument. And also I would probably say the DFAM. I'm madly in love with it. I just can't get over how much I love the DFAM. And I do love Erica. The LXR. I love her. I'm just going to come out and say it. But, she is a royal pain in the ass.
You're here.
I think, Totes, have you figured it out? Because I know the MAFD. Yes. Oh, actually, the thing that when I first got the DFAM, I was just like, and I read about it, but I didn't even think about this. It just didn't even register in my brain. I was like, what? There's no MIDI? What? And so there's this thing called the MAFD made by Sonoplast, which is, I don't know, $100, $150. I don't even remember. And you just put it on the side and you hook it up to the MIDI cables and your system, and poof, now you have MIDI control. Yeah, it is so good. And I'm so pissed that, that Moog wouldn't put a MIDI in and out on the DFAM. That's kind of silly that they didn't do that.
That's
So,
wild. Well, then
Yeah, I
that
mean-
confirms my Behringer purchase because they have
totally.
MIDI in, out, and through. So
Yeah, I was looking jealously at the edge going, oh, look, there's MIDI in and out right on it.
wow.
Yeah, but no, there's no MIDI in and out on the DFAM. And so you have to either use some kind of trigger or something to get it to play for the clocking and all that, which, you can do that, I suppose.
Yeah.
But for me, I wanted to have MIDI control over it. And that really works nicely because I have a whole bunch of little DFAM MIDI clips in live that I can fire off with different configurations and change them on the fly. And it's not limited to just an 8-step sequencer, which is what's in there. It's just an 8-step sequencer, which most people look at that and go, what, 8 steps? That's ridiculous. Well, no, it's 8 sounds, and you can rearrange them in any way, shape, or form that you want. And if you have it hooked up to the sequencer, you can create these cool, etc. I'm going to shut up again.
Is there something that you would really like to have that you don't have yet?
Oh God!
If you can choose only one thing, one very special thing.
Go for it, Noxy.
Oh my God, there's so much. Yeah, I mean, on the top of my mind, it's the DFAM. I don't have one yet. I'm getting one. Well, one-ish. The budget DFAM is what I keep calling it. Yeah, I just seeing folks that have the DFAM and then watching the demos of the Behringer Edge. It just looks so much fun to just play with. The textures you can create out of that and the percussion and all that. I'm probably going to have 3 months of streams just dedicated to playing that thing.
Join us. Join the DFAM family.
So I'm very excited to get that. Other than that, there is a keyboard synth that I cannot think of what it's called. I'm going to have to look it up and I will spit it out probably in 10 minutes. But I tried it out. I went down to Portland for a synth and guitar pedal expo about a month ago and had my hands on it. And there were people waiting in line to play it. And I'm just shooing them off because I was I could spend hours. It was so inspiring. But it's way too big for my rig. And my rules are set in stone. It has to fit in this format here, in this box, or on my pedal board. If it doesn't fit, I'm not purchasing it.
That's very wise.
Can you go up?
Go up?
Can you go up in the height?
No. Because when I slide this forward, as you can see, and I remove the patch cables here, then I can put my lid on to put it away. So that's my rule. It has to absolutely fit in this. If it doesn't, then I'm not using it. That said, I do have a CDJ player, an old CDJ player, that I will occasionally pull out to put some kind of vocal mixes in and scratch those and pitch them and stuff like that. So I will be doing some storytelling series coming soon.
Nice.
So I'll be using that. That does not fit on my rig. It used to. If you look at old streams, that does not fit on my rig. It used to. That's it. Oh, I love that. Keep that going. That was fun.
I'm sorry. That was me playing. For those of you that don't know, we're using something different that we usually use in this setup. So I'm working 3 computers at a time right now to make this thing look normal. So thank you for keeping up with the patience and whatever. Hey, DJ Dougie wants to know if you're coming to NopCon this year.
I am not. No, I would like to, but I'm putting traveling on a hold for a while.
Yeah, I'm not either. It's because I'm old. But I'm gonna answer the gas question.
I don't think you can use the old card in here because I think we are all old.
You're not like me.
but I think the age bar is something between 40 and 50. I don't know. If it makes you feel better, but you're not creating
It's okay.
something
That's all
with
right.
that.
I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Yeah, but old people have gas. It's normal, and so that's something that I'm embracing. I'm embracing the gas because I've got lots of it, and I'll tell you, I have been able to control my gas really, really well until last week. And last week I went to I was in Asheville, and I went to the Moog factory, and somehow my credit card came out of my pocket and landed in this guy's hand, and he looked at me weirdly, and my hand pointed to something, and he grabbed it, and next thing I knew, my bank account was drained, and I walked out with a Mother 32. So oops. So now I have this. Yeah. So now I have this new gear. But really and truly, what am I saving up for? I'm saving up for probably a Percons and a Synthy 2 or a Synthex 2.
When you said all people have gas, I feared the worst for the anecdote. But I'm glad we were talking about cars. It was very relieving.
There you go. Yeah, relieving. Good pun, Mr. X would appreciate. Yes, there are ways to relieve gas. Yes.
How long have you been streaming, both of you?
I began streaming, I think my first stream was either end of April or first part of May 2022. So just a little over a year I've been streaming. And yeah, GSG was probably some of the first musicians I saw. Toto Robin, I think, was the first. Maybe Toto Robin and Graceful Bard and Dr. Squeakers. And then the first synth-on that I watched, the first musician I saw on synth-on was Effin Izzy, and I was blown away. Like, I remember everybody being like, "Oh, this must be his first synth-on," because I was just, I kid you not, my jaw was to the floor. I've never heard or seen another musician like you, so I'm a bit starstruck being here.
Oh, come on.
But yeah, I'd say you and Toto are probably my biggest inspirations to get online and make music, for sure.
Dude, that's nice.
You're gonna make me tear up. It's very sweet.
But yeah, a little over a year.
Yeah, I think I started late 2021. I broadcast for like a month with my mic off or something, or 3 weeks. I was sitting there going like that. And then I finally figured out something and started streaming with sound. And then people started showing up. And I think my first Synthfest was in 2022. And then, from there, it just took off. I just decided, this is something I've always wanted to do anyway. And I'm a performer. I've always been a performer all my life. And so for me, this was just a good time. And now I don't have to break up my studio, drag everything out, put it in my car, go someplace and put up all this gear for a 30-minute, 40-minute show where they give you 20 minutes to set up. And you don't get crap for money. It's like, no, I'm not going to do that. Driving to New York all the time, with all this gear in the car and getting parking tickets, getting my car towed. Twitch was just the answer for me, and I just said, okay, here I am in my little abode, and I can start doing this and shaping it and playing and all that stuff. So,
Yeah, I think that's the way most people that were musicians in real life feel about this. I feel the same. It's like you don't get as much as the reward, but you don't get as much as the cost. You have zero cost. So that's very special. Do you have a music background, Nox Moderato? I believe you do because you have instruments.
I do. I wouldn't say it's as structured as Izzy's is. Because you are a professional. You teach music as well.
Yeah,
and
but
stuff
that
like
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
I know. No, I know. But yeah, I first got into music. I sang before I talked. per what my mother says, you always sang before you talk. So
Nice.
I had this love for music since I was a child. And I think in middle school, when they either hand you a set of drumsticks, a paintbrush, or an orchestral instrument, I took to the cello. I thought it was a cool instrument. It was one of the few that I could actually feel like that I was part of. Just strumming, like bowing the string, you feel it through your entire body because you're literally straddling it. So yeah, that opened the door to musical instruments, the cello. So I was maybe 10, 11 years old. I couldn't read a spot of music. I still can't. I was first chair for a while faking it because I can play by ear. I can obviously see what the conductor wants me to do, and I understand when I need to get soft or play heavy or pizzicato, whatever. I understand that, but looking at the bar of music, I still could not tell you what I'm looking at. So everything I've done from then till now is literally by ear. I don't tune my guitars. I don't tune my synthesizers. I play until I hear that reverberation come in line and glue and lock, and you just get this smooth sound. So yeah, I've dabbled in a lot of different music projects. I played in a pop punk band in the late 90s, early 2000s. Hated that, but it was fun for a bit because it was trendy. That was my first touch in a band. And then went on kind of a 10-year musical hiatus, moved to Seattle, and actually joined a musical theater troupe and did a couple of installations of Rocky Horror, which was super fun. We did punk rock Rocky Horror. After the theater, we became a musical theater cover band, just kind of popping around different bars through Seattle for a year or so.
Nice.
And it was super fun. I dressed up like we all had to dress apart from musical theater. So I dressed like Book of Mormon. I had the full like Mormon missionary outfit kind of on. The tag says hi, my name is, and I had a backpack and a bicycle helmet because I was a bicycle missionary. So had fun with that, and played guitar in that band. But I will say one thing. Looks like we do have time. And I haven't shared with a ton of people. Some people know, but I did stop playing music to a dead stop. I had an incident with my fingertips, which I won't show because some people might be squeamish and I don't want to make people uncomfortable. But if you know Tony Iommi of Black Sabbath,
I was going.
You know he's missing.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Fingertip.
Yeah.
I am missing the same amount of fingertip on my guitar fret hand.
Nice.
It was the first thing I said when I cut my fingertips off, and it was on a table saw. I was a woodworker in the past.
Oh.
I remember just like crying, I will never play guitar again. I didn't care about working or feeling or anything. I was just like, I will never play guitar again. Our foreman in the shop was a guitar player, a gypsy jazz musician, and he's like, "You will be fine." Django Reinhardt. And he kept repeating those names, and I was like, "You're right.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time after healing, I picked up my guitar. I think I just got out of the shower, ran out naked because I was like, "Oh my God, I can play the intro to Fleetwood Mac's." Oh my God, what is that? I can't remember the song, but it was when Peter Green was singing for him. Where he's like, "Can't help it but the shape I'm in. I can't sing. I ain't pretty and my legs are thin." So that song.
Noxy singing.
Oh well. Oh well. Yeah, it's the song Oh Well. But I remember that. And yeah, Bats remembers it. I ran out of the shower naked because I was like, I could do it. Picked up my acoustic guitar and just played it. It hurt really bad, but
wow.
I was able to get through it. And that kind of that woke me back up to really want to play music. And Twitch has been the best outlet for it, hands down. And folks like you just like keep me going, saying nice things. So
yeah.
I appreciate it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah. You work with what you got. So we're going to request singing Rocky Horror streams. Yeah.
Hey, they're saying your mic is off, kid. I can hear you.
Oh,
but
sorry.
I don't-
Yeah. Sorry. It's because I'm doing this weird thing. I was saying that people on the stream. Well, let me repeat myself. I was saying that we can see musicians like John Petrucciani, who's a piano player, who's a small person and has very little fingers and can play the fuck out of the piano. So there's no excuses. But also for the people that are like your streams, they can ask for singing streams that you don't usually do, and Rocky Horror theme streams.
Yeah,
those would be fun.
Oh no, I plan on expanding more. I would like to sing. I just need to get over the stage fright. Maybe more Forest or me just not on camera, because I do love singing. So I think that'll be in the future, because I do want to do more original stuff where I'm adding some vocals. So
totally with you on that, man.
Thanks.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, my music education is pretty extensive, and I started music very early in my life and went to some very fancy schools and started out as I wanted to be a concert pianist, so I really practiced my butt off and really worked hard, got into conservatory, went through the 4-year degree and did all the recitals and all that stuff and studied composition as well. And that's where I started electronic music, because I got a chance to go down into the lower levels where they kept the secret studio with all the electronic gear. And I spent all night there all the time, just hanging out. And then went on to grad school, did some more school. And then, you know what, after all that and performing a lot, I decided I didn't want to play dead people music all the time. And I was interested in playing modern music, new music. I still am, actually. And it took me many years to unlearn academia, because, academia has a certain way of thinking, and I'm not maligning it. It's just that it's a very closed system. And that's one of the reasons why I have the Effin Izzy persona, is because it's a reaction to the academic world, because I couldn't be Effin Izzy as a pianist, as a classical musician. I had to be my regular name as a classical musician. And I still feel that pressure today, with students and all sorts of folks and et cetera, et cetera. But, it took me many years to kind of unlearn this kind of rigor of thinking that academia can introduce into your brain. And when it comes to reading music, yes, I read music and I write it, and it's not a natural thing for me to read music. It's much easier for me to write music, weirdly, but sight reading has always been a bit of a challenge for me, and I practice it almost every day because I have to. And what helped me kind of improve my reading and my skills was to basically learn all of the 5-finger positions and all the keys, major and minor, on the keyboard. And once I got that, then reading started to be a little bit easier for me. And writing it was just fun, yeah. But, it's kind of boring that, the whole education thing, because it was excruciatingly expensive, it was really high end and beautiful. And I enjoyed every single second of it. I'm not going to lie. It was I was in heaven during all that time. But at the same time, there was some kind of I felt bound by the world of academia. In fact, I remember one of the professors angrily yelling at me as I was walking down the hall when we had just finished some kind of seminar on something. He goes,
I think we're back.
Yeah. Okay.
We're sorry about that, my internet connections. So you were saying about, I caught the part that got cut out. You were saying about how academia can make you not as creative as you would like.
Yeah. No, I mean, I just finished a seminar, and one of the professors yelled at me and really loudly. Why are you such an anti-intellectual? I mean, people all in the hallway turned around and looked at me. It was really embarrassing. And I'm not an anti-intellectual. I just don't like the confines of the ivory tower and the way of thinking that is separatist, I like to be a part of the world. I like to embrace all musics, improvisatory music, folk music, you name it, everything, and a lot of intellectuals, a lot of musical, high-end thinking people seem to separate themselves from that. And then that always bothered me. It always bothered me. Yet in a lot of these parties, a lot of these, campus parties where all these people would go, everyone would be talking about their favorite albums, their favorite rock groups, their favorite this and that. And I'm like, well, why are you separating yourself from this? And that's one of the reasons why I had to kind of go with this separation of Effin Izzy versus my real name as a performance person in the classical world versus somebody who can actually do what the hell they feel like doing and let my hair down, although it is bound.
Yeah, I think also Twitch is the way to be in that regard, because if you approach it with with very high standards, you won't have fun. I mean, you can play very well, but you won't have any fun. I think one of the fun things we're doing here is that we're mixing all together, since there's no. I mean, the only way we can actually measure could be viewers. And you can see people that have a ton of viewers that are, I'm not gonna be bad about it, but you can see people that sleep in Twitch and have a lot of viewers. So I'm guessing that doesn't mean they have went to sleep in school, Yeah. Maybe there are, I don't know. The world is bigger than what we think. Okay, we have 5 minutes until we raid into our next streamer. I think Mr. Spock the Sin Guy is our next shrimp. Do you guys wanna plug anything that you will be doing this week, maybe so people can join your streams?
Yeah, sure. I will be playing tomorrow. I think I'm subbing in for Beowulf tomorrow for the Modular Monday that's being put on by GSG. So I'll be on 9 p.m. Pacific, exploring the few pieces of modular gear I have, but Slaughterhouse said it counts. So I'm pleased to get in there and challenge myself to explore patches and stuff like that, which I already do, but like really focus more so on that. So using a little bit of VCV rack with a few of my standalone modular units. It's cool. It helps me focus, puts a structure into my stream, because otherwise, again, it's just kind of shooting by the hip, going full emotion, and not saying I'm going to be void of that, but it will be there. And beyond that, just trying to stream every kind of Monday night, evening, either with the Noise crew that Anarchy puts on, Anarchy and Bedrock, or subbing where needed for Modular Monday. Occasionally, if I'm feeling up to it, if I have the energy, I'll go on, just do an improv stream Saturday morning Pacific, or hop into a Shrimp Sunday if I'm feeling inspired. But otherwise, I work a full-time job. I don't have a ton of energy to really stream as much as I'd like to.
And I hear you.
But also, giving myself only a couple hours to stream keeps everything fresh. I find that I get bored with things too soon or too quick if I do it too long and for too much of amount of a time. So having those limited times really makes things, I don't know, spark for me.
Cool. Yeah, that's also one of the dangers of Twitch, right? Because Twitch tells you that you have to stream for hours and hours and hours to gain whatever there is to gain. So beware of that. That's wise to be aware of that.
Who cares?
Yeah, I don't care about the counts or the numbers or anything. I'm there for me first. I make music for me. It's therapeutic. It's healing for me. And I'm just happy to see like my friends just kind of pop in there and give me support and listen along. And for folks to say they're inspired by what I do is just, it's amazing.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to plug, I'm actually going to be jumping in a car soon and traveling to Bridgeport, Connecticut with a friend of mine. And I'm going to guest host a program called Radio Nothing tonight on WPKN Radio, which is a big deal for me because Radio Nothing is hosted by Rod Richardson, who is kind of an inspiration and hero to me because whenever I was driving to school, I would listen to his show. He was on a regular basis, and it was just really inspiring, some of the stuff that he played. It was really cool. And he became a fan of mine. He came to concerts of mine and all that. And so we met, and, we've had many hangouts together, and he plays some of my stuff on his show every now and then, which is a huge honor. And so tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern time, I'm going to be on WPKN. So actually you can go to www.wpkn.org and you can listen to the show there at 10 p.m. And we have no idea what's going to happen. I'm actually just about to shove all sorts of tunes and stuff on my hard drive and go over and go. So I have to, I can't hang out too much Mr. Spock's stream, unfortunately. And I try to stream at least once a week if I can. I'm not a part of any of these raid trains that I should be. I feel like I'm missing out, and I never know which one I should join or what I should do. So I want to somehow figure out where I would fit into one of these raid trains, because it sounds like so much fun.
You're such a
Yep.
well, I feel like you could fit in any and just keep, I don't know, my philosophy is just to keep myself available and see if there's room, and then hop on if I'm feeling inspired to be like, yeah, I'm going to make noise tonight. I'll see if there's any space for me, or, hey, I want to dabble in modular, or just organic. Yeah, that's kind of my deal.
Yeah. And, and I try to be a viewer as much as I can. I lurk too much. I don't show up enough in streams and comment. I'm trying to do that more, at least to say hi to people, let them know that I'm there, all that stuff. So yeah, it's I love this community. I'm just going to come out and say it, because I can tell you that, one of the reasons that, I went on to Twitch was because of this music community. I mean, the first person I saw streaming was probably Actitect, and then Bleep Temple after that, and then The Graceful Bard, and it was just like, I never even knew how to chat with people. I felt weirded out by chatting. I said hi, and then somebody answered, and I was like, oh my God, what am I supposed to say? What am I going to say? This whole world was so foreign to me, and it was, and Acti immediately goes, hello, Effin Izzy. Welcome in, Effin Izzy. Like that.
Love it.
Temple, and all that stuff. It was so cool. And Graceful Bard started chatting with me. I was just like, what? She can see me? She can hear me? What? It was just like, oh my God. And so for me, it was just like the whole world opened up. And that's why I love Twitch, why I love this community, is because if I do a concert here in Ham Den, the den of pigs, boring, 10 people show up and they're all bored and boring. And then I go, I do something on Twitch and it's worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about, I'll see beer, with people and stuff. I mean, it's awesome. Okay, I've talked.
Yep, absolutely.
Oh, well, that's a great closure. I'm trying to get those answers out of people, and you just provided the whole thing in one go. So thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Sorry about the technical issues. I don't know if I think I shared this at the beginning of the stream, but my phone broke and I had all the information in there, including the two-factor authentication to get it into this stream. So this has been a very weird way of doing things. But thank you to our guests that they helped a lot with preparing this. So thank you to them, and thank you to the whole community for being here and just supporting each other. That's the way to be. Okay, people. Do you have anything else to add, Nox, Effin, or should we just move on?
No, I love you all so much. Yeah, this community means the world to me, and yeah, let's just keep bringing more people into the fold. I love seeing new people join and play on Shrimp Sunday. I followed 2 new streamers today. I love that. I love that. Let's keep it going.
Yeah, get out there and make some music.
Yep.
We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
So good to see you all.